I just got back to the hotel from the summer shredding and a little bit exhausted. I left Jersey at 3:40 this morning. Last night we had our grand rebrand, which was amazing. Super happy and grateful for the turnout. You know, you had these parties, and I go to like a little kid, like, and no, this has never happened to me, but I have that feeling of like, will people show up? Kind of like, you know, the kid that nobody shows up for their birthday party. I can't remember a time when nobody showed up to a birthday party, or I'll be honest with you, I don't remember ever having that feeling, but for some reason, get my words right here. For some reason, it's like, will people show up? You hope, you know, you want have an event, you want to, you know, have a celebration. So anyway, it was a great time. Had a great turnout. Gave away some Lululemon goodies. Gave away some samples, some supplements. Gave away some promotions. It was fun. It was a good time. So got done with that. By the time I cleaned up, got home, and packed, and got to bed, it was probably like 12:30 ish, and then I scheduled an Uber for 3:40 to pick me up. So by the time I fell asleep with Bambino, you know, he's not sleeping fully now yet. So by the time I fell asleep, it was like, I was almost like, you know, you ever get that like half nap where you're like half in, half out, you're not really fully asleep? Well, that's what I felt like. And then I heard Karen, like, I heard her, you know, she's like, what time is it? I look over, it was 3:41. For some reason, my alarm didn't go off. So 3:41, the Uber was supposed to be there. Long story short, I got up real quick, ran out of the house. I had, like, you know, my my underwear on, and I was like, all right, bro, 1 minute, I'll be here. I'll be up right back. I had to get my bags. Anyway, long story short, I made it to the airport, got here, Houston, Texas, jumped right in from the airport right to the venue, jumped on the judging panel, and felt like home. And these guys are really awesome out here. Christian Guzman, Ashley Dreyer, who you know, promotes the Summer Shredding Classic, Summer Shredding Championships. Really, there's Summer Shredding, and then there's the championship at the end of the year. So I've been tagging Summer Shredding Championships on Insta, but I think that's the one, right? There's the Summer Shredding, this is the second one I was at this year. The first one was in July, and I'm here now, and it's September, right? September 13th today, and I'll be back in November for the championships, which is super dope. Anyway, I love coming out here. These guys take care of us really well, and I have a great time. It's a great run event, and level of competition is top notch. And I've been in the sport now for I'm not doing math right now in my head. Since 1995, I competed for the first time. So what is that? 30 years? Is it 30 years? Yeah, it's got to be 30 years. 33 years. So I think. Anyway, 1995 till now. No, maybe next year, 2025 would be 30 years. It'd be 25 plus the 10. Yeah, so it was 30 years next year. Anyway, it's irrelevant. I've been competing a long time. Been to many bodybuilding shows, national level, as a spectator, as a competitor as well. And next to the Olympia, if I'm being completely honest, next to the Olympia, and that's it, next to the Olympia, this show, because I've been to the Olympia and I was at the Arnold. So next to the Olympia and the Arnold, this show is the next best show that I've been at as far as production value, as far as how well it's orchestrated, how timely it is, how systematic, and how professional everything is run. It's impressive. So, and I'm not just saying that because I'm part of the judging panel and because I'm a part of the Summer Shredding family. I think it was just a really well-run show, organization. With that said, afterwards the competitors will, you know, ask for feedback. Today we stuck around for a few minutes, but we, you know, drifted into the parking lot as we were leaving, and a few competitors came up to us and asked us for our feedback. I love talking, especially about giving honest feedback from my perspective from the sport and my experience of being a competitor and being a judge now for 15 plus years. I love giving my opinion and encouragement to the competitors, whether they won or whether they came in second or third or last. I love sharing advice and encouraging them to continue with the sport, but don't get wrapped up into the placing so much. And I say that because there was a young lady who all day long we were talking about how perfect her physique was. And I say perfect meaning it had very much a lot of potential. Let's say perfect, because she didn't win. So from head to toe, she had a great structure, she had great symmetry, she had great stage presence, she had enough muscle, very shapely, great muscle bellies from a genetic standpoint, because some people have muscle but they don't have the genetic gift of like having nice muscle bellies and a good X factor as far as wide shoulders, small waist, big quads. They don't they may have muscle, they may be lean, but they don't necessarily have good shape, or I shouldn't say not good, but they don't. There's people who stand out as far as shape. I don't want to knock anybody's physique, especially with genetics. You can't control that, but the shape of the muscle is something that you can't control. You can change the size of it, you can change the definition of it, but you can't really change how your muscles are inserted into your joints, and how you can't control that. So those are some factors that you can't control. You can only do your job and do your work to get your body in the best possible shape, condition. And depending on the category, that may vary, right? When we were walking out, there was this one particular young lady who looked phenomenal. Like she was definitely a standout, and your eyes were drawn to her. She was very pretty. She had great stage presence, great physique. She had everything. But there was girls who were in better condition than her, so she didn't place as high as maybe she could have if she was a little bit leaner. So it was her first show. We walked out and we said, "Congratulations, you look great." And she filled up and she just started crying. She was very emotional. She's like, you can tell she felt defeated. You can tell she felt defeated on stage when she didn't place. I think she took fourth. I had her in third or second. I think I had her in third, but she ended up taking fourth. So she was very disappointed. And you put a lot of effort into these competitions, and you put a lot of effort into, a lot of sacrifice goes into getting ready for a competition. And aside from the money aspect, the money is a whole different category. What you invest in the suit and the travel and the entry fee and the tan and the makeup and the suit and you can't even count the amount of money that goes into like your food and your training to get to this point. And then the sacrifices that you're making as far as events that you're not going to because of you want to be you don't want to be around either the extra food, or you want to get extra, you want to get more sleep. You rather get sleep and recovery rather than going out. Anyway, it's all part of competition. The sacrifice is part of it. Part of what I love about competition is the fact that I'm willing to suffer and I'm willing to make those sacrifices. That said, a lot goes into it. So if you don't win, if you don't take first place, you can walk away feeling defeated. You can see when she was up on stage before the placing, she just had a glow about her. And then when she didn't place in the top three, she felt defeated. So we had a little pep talk, and all the judges said the same thing, because she was one of the girls we spoke about during the prejudging, and then after prejudging, when the judges met, we were talking about her potential. And we said that if you lose a couple pounds, or if you tighten up a little bit, you would do great. If the same girls were in the competition when you were at your better condition, right? So not only do you have to focus on getting better from your standpoint and improve how your physique looks from show to show. That's really what you should be concerned with, I feel, and that's really the only thing you can control, because you can't control who's going to show up on that particular day. So you may be at your best, and that's what I said to her. I was like, and we were saying, if you lose a couple, you tighten up a little bit, you would have done better today. If you were tighter, you probably would have done better today. Now, if you're tighter and you show up next week and there's 10 different girls up there, you may win, or you may come in last. And that's what competition is all about. Doing what you can do to get yourself better and not worrying about who else is on stage, because you can't control that. And if you focus all of your energies on winning first place and taking home that title, or that championship, that first place victory, there's a good chance that you're going to walk away and feel defeated most of the time. Because I got to be honest with you, only the winners are happy on the day of. Nobody else is happy. And there's only one winner in each division. Most people walk away feeling, like they missed the mark. Because if you're competing at this level, if you're competing to be competitive, you put everything into it and you want to win, or else why do it, right? But from my standpoint, my experience, I have way more second places and third places than I do first. And looking back, some of those second places I'm more proud of, because of what I had to go through to get there, and the commitment level that I had, and the amount of resilience I had during those particular preps. Some of my second places and third place trophies I'm more proud of. And you would think, well, you didn't win. I'm like, yeah, but my physique was at its best at that particular time. So I was at my best. I improved from the year before dramatically. Like this last time I competed, it was better than I looked 7 years ago. So that's all I can control. And I came home with a few, wins last year, and I placed in the top 5 in all my classes that I was in. Whether I won or whether I took the overall or I took 4th or 5th, I was still in the top in two very competitive competitions. I'm proud of those 4th and 5th places, because I saw the guys who I was up against, and I was like, damn, all right, well, I was at my best. And if they were at their best, awesome. If they weren't at their best, they still beat me. I can't control that. I can only control what I do on a daily basis to improve my physique. And really, like, the clients that I work with, 98% of my clients over the past 25 years of doing this don't even want to think about being on the stage in a competitive way. Sure, they want to lose weight for health reasons. They want to get healthier. They want to lose weight maybe for more confidence. They want to lose weight because they've never seen definition, or have never really been happy with their physique, or never really saw what their physique what was possible with their physique, because of whatever, either not knowing or diet. But general population, it's way far out of their even thought process to even want to compete. But you can take the same benefits from competing into everyday life. Meaning, I lost my train of thought, I'm a little tired right now. But from a competitive standpoint, besides the physical aspect of it, the emotional growth, the showing up for yourself, the commitment level that you're putting yourself, you're holding yourself up to standards, as far as you're committed, so you can't quit. And like I said, the resilience and the showing up for yourself and the sacrifices that you make and the discipline, that's really what I think could be taken away from the sport. Because the sport is although I love it and I'm still in it, I still love judging, I still love being a competitor. It's like a really strange sport. It really is. Like, nobody knows your story, what you had to go through to get up on stage. All they're judging you is on your physical appearance and how you look next to the guy or gal next to you. That's it. We don't care about if your mom died last week. We don't care about, I say we as a judge, you know, it doesn't matter. How do you look physically? And that's for this particular sport. I like to look at things a little bit more sustainable, a little bit more, long term. Although I'm still competing, I think it's a wonderful thing, but it teaches me how to be disciplined, and it gets my head focused on a goal, and it keeps me regimented with my routine, and it keeps me structured, and it helps me build confidence. The more committed I am, the more disciplined I am, it helps me build confidence. And obviously, looking and feeling great is a bonus, of course, but it goes beyond the physical. And that's what I try to teach my clients. Like, yes, you want to lose weight, and yes, you want to get in shape, but you're showing up for yourself. You're a mom, you're a dad, you're a business owner, you're juggling all these things in life, and you're still showing up for yourself, and you're still committed to the goal when life gets hairy. That's really what it's about. So there's like two sides of my bodybuilding mindset. Whereas I do all the things that I can do to get to that point, and then it's not a matter of being satisfied with how I look. It's a matter of being content, because you can only do so much. And when you get to that show day, when you get to your goal, that's all you can control. And it goes back to like controlling the controllables and doing what you can, and then leaving the rest up to fate. Because really, if you try to control the placing more than doing what you can do, the only things that you can do, you're gonna lose yourself in the mix, and you're gonna lose all of the opportunity of self growth. If I'm speaking from experience and honesty. So circling back, that girl left, I feel like, with a little bit more positive outlook. Whether or not she went home and cried more and she felt bad about it herself or whatever, it's that's one thing. But a message to everybody who's a competitive bodybuilder, or even not a competitive bodybuilder: you can only do what you can do. You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know who's going to, whatever. You don't know. You just got to do what you can do and be content with that. Don't be complacent, but be content. You can still get better. Having a closed mind, thinking that you're just going to step on stage and win, is very humbling, because you're not going to win most of the time. You're going to lose most of the time, unless you are phenomenal, or unless you're like I was going to say phenom, unless you're like just a genetic freak, and you have all the, and those are like, there are people out there like that, and they win every show. You have your people who just, like Chris Bumstead, right? He wins. He's been just winning for years and years and years now. Dorian Yates, some of the figure competitors. I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, but the ones who just show up every year and just win every year. They're dominant. There are people out there like that. For the most people, for the masses, it's not going to happen. It's not. And that's a tough pill to swallow, and it can be a deterrent for somebody who's trying to compete, or somebody who's trying to level themselves up and put themselves in an environment of competition like that. So I feel like I'm rambling right now, but anyway, that's my just quick thoughts about competition. And yeah, it's an interesting sport. Believe in yourself, trust the process, practice patience. I need to get some sleep.